About 6,700 freshmen were enrolled this fall quarter at UW. That means there's about 6,700 stories to share. Vu here, and I'm about to share what my experience this fall quarter was like and some piece of advice I would give to myself at the beginning of the quarter. To start off, let's go back to the first couple weeks of the quarter. I had a very ambitious goal for the quarter, which was to get really good grades for all my classes. But as you look at these two graph comparisons, sadly, my ambition quickly burned out into a million pieces. So I guess my first piece of advice to my past self is, don't make unrealistic goals. Don't get me wrong, we all should set high goals to try to achieve. But quickly I learned that it's much better to set an achievable goal than an unrealistic one. I learned to leave some room for failure because at some point we all will end up failing at something. Because simply, we are not perfect. Fast forward to around week 7, at that point there was no way I was able to get the grade I wanted. And to be honest, I was a bit mad at myself for a couple of days, maybe weeks. But with the help of this class, I was able to learn some helpful skill and information that I used to strive to finish the quarter strong. One of those skills that I learned was how to have a growth mindset. By having a growth mindset, I came up with new goals for the rest of the quarter, instead of beating myself down because I didn't meet my first goal. Also, by having a growth mindset, meaning I would stop worrying about things I can't control and focus on getting better at things where I was able to. Something that were out of my control that I tried to avoid is how the professor just really made the tests really hard and tricky. There was simply not enough time to finish the test. The professor is really bad at teaching, and during lecture I wasn't able to understand anything he's saying. Thing that I would blame on when I do bad in class. Things that I was able to control to ensure that I get the most out of my education was like how much time I study a day, how many time I reach out for help on material I may not be understanding well enough, how many times I tried to solve a math problem on my own instead of Googling the answer when the question was really hard. I also learned how to manage my time properly and what I should prioritize. To manage my time, I use this theory called jar of life. This is how the jar of life works. Imagine this jar is your life, and in each of these 3 boxes contain the priority you have during your lifetime. Box A contains the most important thing in your life, things that you can't live without, like family, love, education, self-care. And in box B contain things that you need, like money, friends, doing your hobbies. And finally, box C is what you want, like clothes, having entertainment, basically any material things. Now if you take those 3 boxes and if you try to pack your life up with things you want and need, you may not be able to fit some of the most important things in your life. But if you prioritize the important thing first, at the end of the day, you'll be able to manage to fit everything in.
Created using Powtoon.